Alrighty, let's give this another go and see if we can get third time lucky. So this is the third impressions, I guess, of the YoloBox Pro. As I mentioned at the end of the last video, YoloLiv announced a new firmware for this literally as I was editing up the last video. So I thought, hey, I might as well make this first impressions complete with the latest firmware. We're going to have extra cameras today because we're going to start with a couple of errors and omissions. So first things first, the power input on this doesn't appear to actually be USB power delivery. If I go Type-C to Type-C, and I didn't notice this the whole time I was recording because it actually has a built-in battery, but I didn't notice that the USB cable that I had going into here wasn't actually charging it up. It was just there and sending no current and no signal. The quick charger that they sent along with it, I can't actually use because it's got a European plug, but it does say that it puts out 5 volts at 3 amp, 9 volts at 2 amp, or 12 volts at 1.5 amp. So it does offer some kind of quick charge, but it's not Type-C USB power delivery. Second thing we'll get back to in a minute, but there was a new feature in the 1.7 firmware that I missed. But it also occurred to me that I didn't test out the USB webcam feature, so we're going to do that today with the Insta360 One RS. So let's get all this wired up. I've also got an extra camera today. My overhead camera goes into a field world monitor, and then I've got the field world monitor's HDMI output going to this cable. So we'll plug this in and we'll have 3 HDMI cameras connected and 1 USB. And of course we can't forget the star of the show, who's proved quite popular over on Facebook. This was actually 3D printed. A few people have asked me where I got him. He was 3D printed. I will drop a link to the Thingiverse page in the description below, but I will pop him there in front of the cameras. And we're not getting a great view on this one. Let me see if I can prop that camera up on something. There we go. I got a Pixar Pro Bluetooth speaker. We'll pop him up on there. And then that is not going to balance. There we go. Okay, so we will zoom you in and we will go into monitor mode. And I'm probably going to knock this camera because the cable's just outside a shot here, tapping my arm. But here you can see we have 3 cameras through HDMI and we have 1 through USB. So the one thing that I missed in the 1.6 update, and let me brighten this up a bit. So the one thing that I missed is in the video sources, we have multi-views. And this is why I've got all these cameras connected up so you can see these. We've got picture-in-picture video, and you can set up your source for camera 1. So we'll go with that one. Next, and then you set up your source for your picture-in-picture. So we'll go with the One RS. Next. And then you can shuffle it around, you can scale it, and you can, I don't know if this is stretching it or cropping it. Oh, I think it's cropping it. So there you go. So you can have like a 9:16 sort of vertical video style picture-in-picture, or you can go with the standard 16:9. If you go vertical, you can scale it up and have it sort of inset on the side. And yes, I realized that the all the settings are up on the screen. This is because usually with the GH5, I don't usually use the GH5 for streaming. That's what the main camera is right now. Normally I have this sort of in a rig with a monitor and I want to see those settings on the monitor. But right, we'll hit done, and now if we can switch between the videos as normal, or we can go to the sorry, audio mixing is not supported for USB A and Type-C ports concurrently. That's fine. Can I just sort of turn that off? Well, it is off. So I don't know why that matters. So yeah, so we can switch between the cameras. And then we can go to the picture-in-picture, and there it is. And there's our main camera, and there's our other camera. We'll add the split view, and we'll go with that one and that one. And here, you can't shuffle them around, but you can shuffle, let's see, we've got the border thickness, separator position, and separator direction. And with this one, you've got center. So you can have one camera showing the left half of its view and another camera showing the right half of its view, or you can have them both centered. I need to spin you around to get you, if I can, if the wire will let me, without falling off. So yeah, so you can have them centered, or you can have it show the left half of this image and the right half of this image, and then you can shove the separator position around to match. We'll restore that. We'll go back. We'll add side by side HDMI 1 again and HDMI 2, and there we get spacing, and we can stick a background image on it. I haven't got an SD card in, so there's no background images on here. We've also got a news layout, and there you go. That's kind of similar to, well, it's like a cross between the other one we had where we could picture-in-picture vertical, and the last one where you get a background image, or you can just change the background color to something solid. And then if you have it, your background opacity, or background image opacity all the way down, you see the color. If it goes up, it hides the color and shows your image through it. So we'll go back and we'll add the triple, which is the final one. So here we can add 1, 2, 3 cameras. And there we've got a triple view. And here we have center, oh sorry, left, center, middle. Or we can just have all the cameras centered. Again, we can change the border thickness. Interesting that the border on this one, oh yeah, that's the background color. So if we change the background color, so that essentially changes the border thickness, or the border color, basically, because all you can see on this is the border. We've got a nice bright, yeah, no, that's nasty. So those are the things that I missed in the last video, and now we are gonna go and do the firmware update. So in firmware 1.8, we can now switch up to 10 video sources instead of the original 6. The multi-views has also had a bit of an upgrade. It looks like they're all basically the same, except now you can create up to 2 of them each. The USB-C socket can now take an external USB drive. Whether this means just memory sticks, or if you can plug in an external SSD, like a Samsung T5 or whatever, I don't know. I will test that for the final review. But it looks like you can use an external drive of some kind instead of the SD card for saving out your recordings of your stream, or for bringing in video, photos, and whatever. The USB-C port also supports the Rodecaster Pro and some other audio mixers. Some other audio mixers is a bit vague. I'm going to test it with my Behringer Euphoria, and I've also got the little Rode digital interface. So I will test it with both of those, and we'll see what happens. Not today, they're for the final review. You can also automatically hide your overlays with a preset duration. Oh, that's handy. So if you tap the button to bring up, I guess, your social overlay for Instagram or whatever, instead of having to tap it off again, which, let's face it, most of us probably forget to actually tap it off. Now when you tap it on, you can have it just automatically fade off after a preset amount of time. There are more shapes for the subscreen of picture-in-picture. We'll have a play with that. There's a fade to black transition. And, oh, they added the countdown timer. Oh, I mentioned that in the last video. I'm not going to take credit for that suggestion, because obviously they were already working on it before I'd even seen it. And they've fixed the web URL overlay. So maybe we'll try adding DRIP on top of a video again. And they fixed some audio issues, but I haven't really played with the audio on this, so I'm not entirely sure what those audio issues are. But we'll go ahead and install. And we've got about a minute remaining. That's coming down nice and quickly. Alright, and the firmware is almost updated. Taking a little longer than 1.7 did. 99%. Still 99%. Oh, there we go. And now it's doing its rebooty thing. I'm really hoping I can get this all recorded in one take, because I've lent my other GX80 to somebody, which is what I use as my overhead cam. And I've only got one battery, and I lent my friend the charger, so hopefully we can get this done before the battery dies. But right, we are now going on to monitor mode. So we've got 4 video sources right now. I haven't got any local video set up. We'll do a picture-in-picture of that one and that one. And yep, done. And we'll do another picture-in-picture. Oh, a picture-in-picture 2 of the overhead with that one. Done. And oh, they're down below. So there we go. So we can add more down below. So we can add a triple. So you basically, oh, that's annoying. I wish you can't tap and swipe that. Let me brighten this back up again. If I go here, so you can swipe that. I wish you could do that here, but you can't. You've only got page down and page up. You know, I guess you kind of get used to it, but yeah, so all of the multi-views are the same. You can just set up 2 of them now instead of just 1. One thing that I wish it had, and this was a problem I had with the YoloLiv Pro as well. Now this does let you flip the output of the stream, like vertically. Somewhere there was a setting that basically flips your, you know, rotates your camera or your output 180 degrees. Is it in there? No, I don't remember where it was now. But this is a problem I had with the YoloLiv Pro. Can you see my overhead camera is upside down? I want to be able to rotate an individual video source 180 degrees because I don't want to rotate everything, because that and that and that are all the right way up. But this one, I want to be able to rotate 180 degrees so that, I mean, like, well, you can see the writing here is the right way up. The writing here is upside down. I want to be able to rotate that so I can have everything the right way up on a live stream without having to spin the whole camera around. The USB stuff, I'm not going to mess with now. I'm going to save that for the review because I want to test that with several different SSDs and other things. We got a new transition. That was in the settings, wasn't it? Video source transitions. Fade. Oops. Oh no, that fades between one and the other. I don't know where the fade to black is. I will have to come back to that at another time. All right, let's look at these overlays. We will add a social overlay. Where's the overlay timer? I would have expected it to be in here so that you could set an overlay timer for each individual one. Oh, there we go. Fade to black is there. I completely missed that before. It's right at the top. Well, that's interesting that you have to go into settings and do it from there rather than just having you know, something here on your main thing. Where do we change then? This, the overlays. Oh, we'll try this while we're here. So now it's loading that URL, and there it is. Width. Ah, there we go. So we actually can adjust the width. We can adjust the height. One of the problems we've got, though, I mean, and we can drag it around. One of the problems is if you've got that stupid cookie thing up, you can't scroll the page and actually click it off. That's a little bit frustrating. But if this was an actual image, that would hopefully just come up and then you can scale it and figure it out how you want. I'm still trying to figure out how to automatically hide these overlays. There's nothing in the settings at all about the overlay timers. If we go into here, I don't see anything here that lets you select the time. So I'm going to have to look into that, but apparently there is a way that you can set up overlays with a timer. One other quick one, I'm going to go in here really quickly. We can change the shape of the picture in picture. So we can make it a diamond or we can make it a circle. Let's do that. And oh, I want to edit you and make you bigger. Not that big. So there you go. So we can make it bigger and change it into a diamond. Alrighty, so that is basically it for the YoloBox Pro 1.8 update. Couple of neat features, especially all the extra multi-view modes and the ability to add more. The next video you see about this, well, it might actually be a live stream where I'm actually testing it and using it in the real world more than likely. But the next actual upload about this will be the final review. Yeah, so if you like this, let me know with a thumbs up, comments, questions, anything you want me to test. I will try and figure out this this overlay timer before the review, because that's kind of interesting. I want these, you know, I want to be able to tap it and then have it come up for like 10 seconds and then just have it automatically disappear. I don't want to have to go and press it again, because more often than not, I will tap it, I will get on a rant about something, and then I'll forget to even take it down. But yeah, that's it for now. That'll do, and I'll see you in the next video.